I'm the nun's priest, and this is my tale. I'll tell you a story with very few males. About a character who once wanted it all. Sadly, this led to a tragic downfall. This story is of a woman quite fat, who often wore a feathered hat, which covered up her loss of hair, and saved herself from further despair. She rarely looked before she sat, and one time killed a tiny cat. The poor thing's brains were completely smashed out. The cat was dead, and without a doubt, the fat old woman was completely alone. She'd live out her life as a lonely drone. Soon this woman began to cry, "Why did my poor cat have to die?" and threw her body upon her shelf. She slept that night all by herself. The next morning was crisp and clear. The sounds of birds pierced the ear, to wake one's rested soul and mind, and remind one of the passing time. So glorious this morning was, no previous one before it 'twas, to match it in its desolate beauty, but the house that stood from fire sooty. Truly a blemish at any gander, this house a mess and can be no blander, and with its severity to the eye, this house would often make children cry. And it is here again where our story takes place, here in a house with very little space. "Oh, this food is yummy, I love this bread," said the fat old lady, bouncing her head. "I'd love some juice and a bit of bacon," as she reached over her cat unshaken. It lay there still and without any thought, until some grease drops from the bacon pot had fallen, landing on the cat's black fur. Immediately this caused quite a stir. Somehow the fat old woman had forgot the reason for which she had been distraught, and looked again at her cat so dear, then suddenly began to shed a tear. A new companion is what she would need, and this time she'd go with a different breed. So she packed her things and was on her way. It was a new start and a different day. To the village to see what she could get. A bird, cat, dog, some different kind of pet. It was so much excitement and high hopes. She didn't mind climbing treacherous slopes. A dangerous journey had got her there. She probably lost a little more hair. "Where can I find the perfect kind of pet?" she yelled at a stranger she had just met. "Look there, homely woman, you cannot miss. A farmer lives there by the name of Chris." She did not care for his name or status. All she wants is something she can claim. She walked up to him demanding a pet, but she would take whatever she could get. Now there were two pets that worked side by side. The big one would give the other a ride. "Look there, pig, I've never seen one so wide," as Chick saw her with her waddle-like stride. To Pig her girth was more than appealing. Food, water, and a comfortable ceiling. "Look at this woman, she is so fat. Some day soon, Chick, I'd like to live like that." "Pig, please be happy with what you've got. We don't live well, it may not be a lot." But before Chick could finish, Pig was displeased. "Chick, can't you see that this prize could be seized?" He ran to the woman, biting her dress, expecting adoption and nothing less. And as he thought, his prediction came true. She traded them for a trinket or two. Together they made their long journey home, a brand new place for the pets to roam. Unfortunately, they were unaware. The place they would live had no place to spare. But Pig had thought himself very slick, but that smirk on his face would soon vanish quick. Back through the dangerous slopes they had went. Halfway through the journey, some time had been spent on a discussion that Chick thought quite grim. Pig had just laughed and thought little of him. "Chick, why can't you see that this is our chance? I wish, Chick, that you would just change your stance. Because I'd be merciless if you got in my way. I will warn you now, so heed what I say." Pig said what he meant and meant what he said, shocking little Chick, filling him with dread. The conversation would soon end there, just as soon as the three arrived to the lair. Pig saw the home and couldn't help but gasp, his dream, his ambition out of his grasp. He'd thought he'd be in some kind of palace, but instead it was more like a hideous callous. "I thought this woman would live like a queen. What's wrong with this house, and what could this mean?" Pig's blindless greed had just tricked him again. He didn't know how, he didn't know when, but soon Pig said he'd rule this den. "Chick, we must kill her, and we must act now." "Pig, you're crazy, you sadistic sow. How can you not see this is the wrong path?" "Pig, I refuse. I shall unleash no such wrath." Pig finally had enough of this Chick, and swallowed Chick up, and he did so quite quick. Now without this nuisance Pig could succeed. To the next step with a knife he'd proceed, but decided to wait to shed some blood. He'd make sure tomorrow there'd be a flood. But unfortunately, early the next day, Pig was slaughtered in a most unmerciful way. And once again the old woman bounced her head. She enjoyed some bacon now that Pig was dead.